Hey guys, my name is Josh from J&M Web Creations. Pretty excited about this new freebie I'm given, which is a couple slide-in menus. Divi originally had the slide-ins on their menus. Now that you go to Divi 4.0, really there's not much customization that happens. People have been putting out some fixed headers and sticky headers, but I haven't seen any of the slide-in headers. So hopefully this helps a few of you guys. And it's a pretty easy way to make a slide-in header, and the slide-in is able to be messed with in Divi. So it should be pretty helpful. But here we go. Okay, so basically I have already imported them. What you're going to get is when you download it, you will have to subscribe to my mailing list. I'll be putting a bunch of different how-tos and probably some freebies, stuff like that. So should be useful stuff, not a bunch of junk. You're gonna get a zip file with slide-in menus. This is how you're going to use these. Left slide-in menu, it'll come from the left and over. Right slide-in menu, from the right and over. These both use a Divi menu that was given to us on one of the free days. They gave 6 of them. It was one of those. So it uses one of those just to kind of show you. These other two, slide in left header, left no header, slide in right no header. These are more of your bare bones, so it'll you can add those in. You can make your header however you want. Essentially, you probably wouldn't want to put the main menu in there because it'll probably be in your slide-in header. But it'll be you'll be able to put this in, and it'll work with the. It should work at least with the header you're working with and you've made. Could be some issues if you've done some more CSS and stuff, but if you have done just the standard one and you've just put stuff in, should be able to do this with no issues. I haven't tried it with every single module, so there may be some issues with some, only a couple of modules here and there, but it looks to be working correctly. The only one that was funky was actually the menu, because of in this new menu that Divi has, it doesn't have a menu that's vertical, so I had to use some CSS and play with it to get that to work correctly. So you'll see these, you can use any of the 4. I'll go ahead here and show you kind of how these work. So first off, I'm going to go into post that I have already made, and actually those are on there. So here is your slide-in menu, and so you've probably seen this one. This was one of the free menus. I kind of a little bit played with it, but I didn't do much. So you'll probably want to customize some stuff. And here's your actual slide-in. Just looks like the hamburger. It is just a blurb, so you can actually change whatever you want this to be, essentially the icon. So slides in like that. The only reason I put this funky color here is to show you that it goes all the way down the screen, and it is 100%, so you can put whatever you want here, kind of like before Divi's. The menu works correctly, and then you have one of the things I'm not 100% sure is when you do change some of the different things in there, padding and stuff, how that might work. If it's padding from the bottom, that's probably fine. Some of this padding may be a little funky, trying to get a little padding in there, but other than that, these are just 2 images that were sitting there. And you have an X button here, so this is a little bit different than the old Divi slide-in. It didn't have an X button here. how it worked is when you press this, the whole screen, or your whole header, and actually I believe everything, slid over. I actually wasn't a huge fan of that, so I decided to make it this way. I could probably slide it over if I wanted to, but I haven't done that on this. But I think this actually works really well. You have next button, you have this button. If this button can be moved anywhere, you could put this in the middle, let's say, and when it slid over and it was still showing here, you could press that one to close it as well. Either one will close it as a jQuery toggle. So that's kind of how it works. And then you'll see a right slide in view here. That just comes over like that. Then the other one, let's see if I have it on here. I may have it. Yeah, so as you can see, this is really a junk header. I was just messing with it. And this is the more bare bones one. You can take this and put it wherever you want. It could be here, it could be here. This one I believe is the left slide in. Yep. And so as you can see, that can go there, that, or that. So you can toggle both with that. I probably like it in behind that. Probably is a little less confusing, but there you go on those. So I'll go in here and kind of show you how they work here. We are going to, I'll just do a quick, these were some test posts. I put in random stuff in here from a plugin. That's why it has some funky information in there. Testing -2, put a -2 on here. So update. Okay, so I am going to now go into the Divi theme builder, and these ones, as you can see, were already made, and that's kind of what we already saw here. So you add a new template. First, I'll just show you how to put in the left slide in and the right slide in. They're already kind of made for you. Go to post, specific post. We'll just go to testing 2. So this is going to just do the header for that post. I'm just going to pull in the body so you can see how that looks. From this one up here, add custom header. We're going to go ahead and add it. You don't want to use global header because that'll use this right here, which is on the rest of the site. What we do want to use is build custom header. And it's working. Okay, build from scratch. And we go down here, open this up, and we want to import portability. Import the 2 that are going to be used on that are the left slide menu and the right slide menu. This does not work with the bare bones one. They are done a different way, and I will show you how to do that. Okay, so you can pull in the left or the right slide in. I'll just throw in the left here. Boom. And replace existing content. What I'm going to do, there's really nothing in there. Okay. Wait for it. And there it is. So, how this works is this guy can be moved. Let's just move it into the center. Move. Oh, it's actually moving over here because I have some different CSS on it, but you can mess with the columns. Mess with the column here, and because it's this big one, just do like that. I actually have it set to the left. You could mess with it and set to the right, however you wanted to do it. So now you see here, you can change this and add whatever you want in here. The right slide in will be actually the same thing. For some reason it shows it here on the left as well, but this is what you're going to be editing, this right here. We can go ahead and just throw a little text in here. Okay, go just go with the white background just to make it a little easier to see. Content, background, white. Okay, looks terrible, but we're just doing this for testing purposes. And we'll just throw some test content in there. Really, there's some in there. Okay, so we have that test content in there, and we go ahead and save this. After I've done that, I do like to make sure it's fully saved. It may be fully saved. I like to save it in here as well. So I'm just going to go back to my all posts. Get that one, testing 2, we'll view it. And now what we see is it's right here. And there's your new content right there. So that's kind of how you work with this. It's pretty easy. Like I said, the menu, this menu here is not, it uses the menu thing, and you could probably put a logo. It would be kind of funky in here. And actually this, I have this done with CSS, so even though it looks like it's to the left, it's actually going to be centered. So that's just kind of how it works. You can put whatever menu in there. I haven't checked to see how these will work. I guess they may be kind of funky and they may do that, but you could always, another thing you can always do is, instead of really using this right here, all you have to do is add another, or add a column, or sorry, a row that has text, and just link the text, and that really could be your menu. That's really all a menu is, and then do whatever you want with the text. It might even be easier, unless this works just fine for you. Oh, not that one. But then you will have, you'll be able to go over that. So you go, I'm going the wireframe. You can see what this is from the wireframe. So actually, it's probably a good thing I show you the blurb. Here it is. You can see it's this image right here. You can use whatever you want. Change colors, change size, however you want to do that is fine. The code, you want to make sure you keep this in here. For one, there's a vertical line. 2, here's kind of how the sliding works. Some CSS for that. It also has, I did make this fixed header, so we can, these are fixed headers. I didn't mess with it too much, so it's not like it gets smaller or anything. You'd have to do a little more on that to do it. This is more just for the slide in. And a lot of the other stuff, this is going to be your jQuery that helps it do what it needs to do. So make sure you keep that. This is another do not delete. All this is an X. It'll be the slide in X button. So you could actually put it where you want it. If you really want it at the bottom, you could do it. It'd be funky. You could probably put it to the right instead of the left if you wanted to. Whatever you want to do, just make sure you keep this, because this is how you close the menu. Though if you wanted to, you could take it out, but you'd have to make sure your menu here does not get slid over. So you would put it somewhere else, let's say over here, and then it slides over here. You could push it back in. So you could delete it, but that's just kind of how I'm showing you how to do it. This is the menu, like I showed you before. 2 images and some text. So really you can kind of customize this however you want. So let's go back here. Save and exit here. Save it. Okay, so we have this here. What what I'm going to do on this testing page right here, I'll show you how to use the other one. Okay. So first off, actually, go ahead and just delete everything and delete this. So we have, we'll save that and just go out. So there's really nothing in there. For the other two that are the bare bones ones, you need to go to the Divi library. You need to import and export. And I had already imported the slide and left no header, and that's kind of what that means. Let me pull this in. This is going to be, I'll just throw in the slide and right, no header, import, or Divi Builder layout, and with that, wait for it to go in, we should see it. Okay, so now we see slide and right, no header. At this point, we go back into the theme builder. Store that, and we have testing here. Okay. Testing, our testing should have really nothing in there. So let's build from scratch again. And here's what we're gonna do. Let's just make, I'm just gonna make a test header. What do we want? Image. Okay. Let's just pretend this is our logo. Sizing. Let's make it just boom like that. Let's go with a free over. So I made tiny, that work. So there. Actually, I'll just make this row 100% or 90%. Let's just say 90 and 90%. Okay. And then let's say we have a button over here. So this is a really terrible header, but just for screwing around with here for argument's sake. And then what we want to do is add a new section, and this is going to be added from the library. Slide and right header, slide and left header, slide and right header, or slide and right no header. And actually this is going to be the one that slides in from the right. So sorry, I have a crying baby over here. So I'm going to use this one here. What I'm going to do now is actually this is all white background, so let me just, I'll just mess with this real quick. Let's make this a, let's just go with the black background. Okay, we have a black background. Now we have this here. As you can see, the only difference from this one to the other one in here is that the blurb is located in here, so you can put it wherever you want. So we can go back to it here, and then we can just drag this blurb, let's say right here, and it's going to be there. And yes, this is terrible, but here, I'll just, the whole background should make the whole thing black. Okay, there we go. Here's our great thing. So then you'll just save that. Make sure it's saved here. Here's my testing. Go back. Should be black on top. See why we have some white up there. There shouldn't be, but as you can see, it does slide in, so you should be able to do with it as you please. Let me take a quick look here, see why we're take a look at that, but this one works just fine. See. Let me go in here. Take a look at this. Huh. Interesting. We have a tall light thing. I may mess with that a little bit more just to make sure it's working correctly. But yeah, that's essentially how you use these layouts. One goes straight into the builder, into the theme builder here, and then imported here. The other is going to go into your Divi library, and it is a, that's not my Divi library. It is going to be a section, so you'd move it in as a section. Other than that, if you find something that's not working, let me know. I'm gonna mess with it and see why it had that white at the top. I can probably figure it out here pretty quick, and then we should be good. If you have any other questions, just feel free to message me or email me, or look at our contact form. My website is jnmwebcreations.com, and we have some contact forms on there. But yeah, I hope this is helpful for you guys, and hopefully you can get some use out of it. I'm assuming Divi will be pretty soon adding this functionality back in, but for the time being, I think this works pretty well and will be a good thing if clients want to slide in, or if you like the slide in function. I've used the slide in on one or two, and I actually customized it with CSS. So this is actually easier than the previous slide in, I think, with Divi, because now you can use the Divi modules in it. But hopefully that works for you guys. And just thanks for all your guys' support. Thanks. Bye.